All right, today we're going to review transformations. First, the A, remember, if it's negative, will cause the graph to flip over. If it's greater than 1, it'll cause the graph to get taller. If it's between 0 and 1, it'll get shorter. All of these changes change the y coordinate of the point. The H moves the graph left to right. Whoops. Remember that the H is opposite of what it appears like. If it looks like minus H, then H is really positive and the graph moves right. If it looks like negative H, like here, H is positive, the graph moves right. If it looks like positive, then that was really subtracting a negative, so the graph moves left. H changes the X part of our points. And third, there's K. Notice there's a plus sign in the formula in front of K. So that is what we expect. That moves the graph up if K is positive. It moves the graph down if K is negative. And since we're moving up and down, again, that changes the Y part of your points. Okay, let's try some examples. Okay, so suppose we had this function on our graph right here. This is our function. And in order to transform it, we need to know where we are. So let's write down our x's and our y's for our points. Let's see, this point over here is -3, +3. This point right here is over 1, up 5. So 1, 5. And the point farthest to the right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay, so now we look at our transformation. Our new function has a 3 here and a 2 here. This is our h, this is our k. Now remember, there's 8x minus h in the formula, so if we see the minus, it's part of the formula. So here h is 3. That's going to move the graph to the right, which means we'll have to change our x part of our points. So up here in our table, I'm going to have my x, and I'm going to add 3 to them all. So -3 plus 3 is 0. 1 plus 3 is 4. 6 plus 3 is 9. All right. The k is 2. That's positive. So that's going to move the graph up. Up and down changes the y. So I'm going to have to change the y parts of my table as well by adding 2 to all my y coordinates. So 3 plus 2 will make 5. 5 plus 2 will make 7. 1 plus 2 will make 3. And so here are my new points to graph. 0, 5, 4, 7, and 9, 3. And I'll have my transformed graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's see, that was 6. So 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. I didn't make it taller or shorter. I just moved it right and up, so the shape should look exactly the same. And it does. Okay, let's try another transformation. Alright, so suppose we have our same shape in its same location and 2 more changes to make to it. So same as last time, let's get our starting table down. So we were at -3, 3, 1, 5, and 6, 1. Alright, this time we have an A. That is negative, so we know our graph will be upside down. And it's a 2, so that's bigger than 1, so it'll be taller. And both of those change the y's. We also have a number inside our parentheses, so that's our h. Remember, there should be a minus right here. Since it's not, it's because there was minus a negative 1. So h is really a negative 1, which will move the graph left. Left and right changes the x. So, in my table, I'm going to have to take my x's and subtract 1 to move them left, and my y's and multiply them by negative 2 to flip them and make them taller. So negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. 6 minus 1 is 5. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So we'll have to graph negative 4, negative 6. 0, negative 10. Uh-oh, that's going to be hard to fit. And 5, negative 2. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0. And then down 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, up 10, way down here. And 5, negative 2. Clearly upside down, clearly taller. We can check. The old graph, the height was 4 because it went from 1 to 5. If it's twice as tall, it should now be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sure enough, from bottom to top, it's 8 spaces, so it is twice as tall. All right, let's try another one. All right. So this time I went ahead and drew the shape and copied the numbers for the table as well. And here's our transformation. We have an A, we have an H, we have a K. So a 1/2 for an A. That's going to make it shorter, half as tall, which will change the Y. Everything about the height will be changing the Y-axis. Here's x minus. We're expecting a negative there. So h is 4. So the graph will move to the right, which changes the x's. So x plus 4. And then there's a k. We would expect there to be a plus sign if k was positive. It's minus, so that means this graph will be moving down. And that changes the y. So this is our first example where we have 2 changes to the y. So think order of operations. In order of operations, you get to multiply before you get to add or subtract. So we will have to multiply by our a before we subtract 3. So we're going to have to do 1/2 times y, then subtract 3. Okay, so clearly the x's will be easier. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 6 plus 4 is 10. Now we're going to get some fractions. You can use your calculator to support this if you need to, but 1/2 times 3, that's 1.5. Subtract 3, that's negative 1.5. 5 times 1/2, that's 2.5. 2.5 take away 3 is negative 0.5. And 1 times 1/2 is 1/2, or 0.5. Subtract 3 is negative 2.5. So lots of fractions here. We're going to have to graph 1 comma negative 1.5. 5 comma negative 0.5. And 10 comma negative 2.5. Everything's negative because we moved it down the graph. So 1, negative 1.5. So right between the 1 and the 2. 5, and negative 0.5. And let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, negative 1, negative 2, negative 2.5 is right there. So let's see. It's moved to the right for sure. It's moved down because everything is negative now. And it says half as tall. So let's count. The old one from bottom to top was 1, 2, 3, 4 tall. This one from bottom to top is 2 tall. So yes, that's half as tall. Okay, hopefully that's a good review and you'll be set to give it a try.